were shouting at each other, and he hung up. He said, "Redle, it looks like I have to go and get myself killed." You had a BAR, which is a very dependable gun, heavy, very dependable. Got extra ammunition. He went over. I had one tank over there. I think of his name, Red. He was played baseball for the Brown, the Brown company union. Yeah.
So was that when you were doing this, hill? Was this part of the hill stuff?
That's that Hill 551 is the center of it.
Okay. And that's what we were just reading all about.
Oh, well, I came over from and Lieutenant Ayers said he had to go out and get himself killed, and he had his favorite gun, which was a BAR, which was too heavy for me. It weighed about 45, 50 pounds.
Ew.
But it was a real good gun. And he
Here's some water for you.
slammed down the foam and said to me, "Redle, it looks like I have to go get myself killed." So I went and followed him over. And he got over there and he found Captain, he was the company commander, and he stopped, talked to him for a minute. He went over to where the action was taking place, and this one sergeant, oh boy, I could see him, but I can't tell you his name. He walked there, he went down the front line. There was about 4 different places that there was action taking place. And he talked to his tank commander, Red, I'm going to change these, but it was Red. Anyway, he started off, and he would go out to the area where this was going on, and he'd make a note to the tank company, tank commander. And he'd start shooting, and then he'd give him a high sign and chain these, but we didn't chain these down. I can't get it. Anyway, he came in on, fired about 4 or 5 rounds, and then hit a tank gun and destroyed that place. He kept going. It was 4 of those, and the Germans had been on Hill 351 for a long time. It was a commanding feature on Colmar Pocket. And it's he'd go find another spot and do the same thing. He'd engage him in fire, and then he'd give a high sign to Red, and Red would pause him off.
Okay.
Got the next one, and although the Germans were told by Hitler to hold that pocket at all costs, they started evacuating, and they went up over the hill. They thought they were going to get into a good situation, but the hill, the place they thought was German, had been taken by the 3rd Battalion 15th.
Okay.
So they came over the hill and came right down into them, so they were all taken prisoner.
Okay. This is a situation at Hohe Schwarze. Regiment Reimer's defense position was heavily attacked from the Kleinthal during the whole day. Casualty rates were again mostly through enemy mortars and artillery shelling. And then situation at Hill 621, F Company.
621, that's above, okay.
Were you around that one at all?
No, that's the 36th Division.
Okay, let me see if it says anything. So this was people, let's see here. December 14th.
Yeah, that's early. Attack on the 27th.
What, the December 27th?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, keep on going.
Well, I could, because this is more about this other hill, I think, although let me look. This is personal account of Werner Schaller, former grenadier in Grenadier Regiment 1213.
Mm-hmm.
Taken from this book. It says, "Today we shall launch an attack from Ben Weir and Siegelsheim to take Mont Siegelsheim.
Mm-hmm.
Our unit in Keinsheim is ordered to support this assault by carry out relief actions. During the night, Ben Weir was retaken by Waffen SS soldiers of the SS Utenführer Schul Redle. The Americans fell back and dug in on Hill 351. Is that the one you were?
Yeah.
This is the site where the French military cemetery is located. We see that SS troops take the hill while running in close formation. I guess those boys have not seen combat before at all. While running, the young SS troopers got hit by murderous U.S. mortar fire and were completely annihilated. This useless assault is repeated, and we think we can hear the screams of the wounded. Around 10 a.m., our squad, as the right flank of the Keinsheimer Battalion, is launching the attack. Just before the top, about 3/4 up the hill, we encountered a U.S. machine gun nest containing 3 machine guns. We tried to bypass it by going along a small stone wall to the right. While sneaking on the wall, Jupp Heidelberger got killed by a machine gun burst as he stood in front of a hole in the wall. He screamed, "Mother, mother, please help me," and died shortly after. We tried to recover his body, but during the attempt, we got 2 more men wounded. His friend Schorsch from Saarbrücken made several attempts to get to him, but to no avail. We destroyed 1 machine gun with hand grenades, but the 2 remaining ones give us hell. We go back, and while again in the cellar, I miss Sorsch and Saarbrücken. He turns around midnight from his dead friend to recover his Soldbuch, dog tag, watch, wedding ring, and other valuable personal things. Now this is on December 14th. Although the enemy had been decisively routed by the Americans after each assault, his determination to continue attacking was not lessened. During the night of December 13th and December 14th, the skyline around Hill 393
Higher one, yeah, okay.
was particularly brilliant as the Germans threw in one of the heaviest artillery concentrations of the war. The shells came crashing in just after an engineer outfit had taken over E and G Company's positions. The Germans launched another artillery barrage at 5:30 a.m., followed by an infantry attack. However, the assault troops were all exhausted from the constant night fight, as well as morally depressed by the friendly fire incident during the midnight assault. This resulted in another failure to take the important high ground. At dawn, the Jeb Company of Jeb 201 in Kaiserberg was alerted to support another attack together with the 2nd Battalion under the personal lead of the division commander, General Major Edward Zorn. The 3rd attempt was launched to take Bloody Hill. A savage German infantry assault followed the artillery barrage, resulting in the capture of 1 U.S. engineer battalion or platoon, heavy casualties among the defenders, and the loss of Hill 351 in the middle of Monte de Segelshorn. After the Germans, so that went back to the Germans then, right? Did it go? They captured the U.S. or did the Germans lose 351?
The Germans lost at 3511.
Okay.
Sickelsheim was
Okay.
taken by the Americans.
The Americans. After the Germans fortified their position in the middle with a heavy company of Regiment Eyre, and later with a pioneer company, they cleared most of the hill from the Americans. Only the wooded area on the western part of the hill remained in U.S. hands due to heavy resistance. So were you in there that?
Yeah, but I don't think that was exactly right.
Okay.
But that's all right.
Okay. We can,
Yeah.
we'll just go through it for the initial stuff.
Oh.
Although battle-weary and tired, the American soldiers of E and G Company, the 141st Infantry, returned and fought their way back up the hill. Aided by 2 M4 Sherman tanks, they succeeded in retaking all but a small pocket on the very summit by darkness of December 14th.
Okay.
December 14th saw the end of the German effort. Operation Habicht, the German plan to break through the 36th Division, had been frustrated and terrific casualty toll inflicted upon them. Prisoner identification showed that at least 6,800 infantry had been brought across the Rhine for this effort. Prisoners taken by the 36th Infantry Division during this period, December 6th to 14th, totaled 1,360. The German Regiment Eyre lost 472 men, either killed, wounded, or missing from December 12th to the 14th in the struggle for Mont de Segelsheim. Regiment Reimer had 330 killed in action alone for the attack on Requeer on December 12th. Until December 17th, I, K, and E companies, the 141st Infantry, participated in continuous local attacks and counterattacks against the unceasing efforts of the Germans to establish and reinforce strong points on the top of Mont de Segelsheim, containing hills 351 and 393.
Okay.
Over on Hill 621, F Company, 141st Infantry was...
36th Division.
Okay, so is that from the... there's from the 36th. In similar activity, the enemy assaults never seemed to let up as the Germans remained determined to gain the highly sought ground. Yet men of
had order from Hitler to do that.
Yeah. So it says, yet men of the 36th Division fought them to a standstill. Among the American veterans of the 36th Infantry Division, few towns in Alsace are still vivid in their minds, but none of them who participated in the fighting during this period will forget Requeer, Siegelsheim, Keinsheim, and Keiersberg, nor hills such as 393, the 351, or 621. To those of them who were up on these scrub brush covered hills, the Requeer area means days and nights of ceaseless enemy assaults, enemy artillery and mortar shells crashing all about them, continuous enemy assaults, unforgettable bayonet charges, close-in fighting with the enemy on all sides, and the bodies of enemy dead surrounding the mud-soaked foxholes. There was all the hellishness of war concentrated in one area, war as only the front-line grunt can know and understand it. stripped of its glamour and exposed as the
Shirley,
real.
I knew him.
Okay, it says the story of what would the FC Private First Class Stanley W. Shirley, 3rd Infantry Division.
Here,
Private First Class Stanley W. Shirley, HQ Company, 2nd
Headquarters.
Battalion, okay, 30th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division, saw action in Italy and was fighting near Cisterna, where he was credited with capturing 26 German prisoners. Private First Class Shirley later fought in Alsace, France, and was awarded the Bronze Star Medal for actions during the Battle of the Colmar Pocket. He also got the EAME Campaign Medal and Arrowhead. What is that? Do you have those? What are those?
What?
EAME Campaign. It has the initials EAME. He got the EAME Campaign Medal with Arrowhead.
it's an Arrowhead. I don't know what that is.
Okay, and the Good Conduct Medal and the World War II Victory Medal.
Okay.
After the Germans' counterattack known as Operation Habicht, or Operation Hawk, from December 12th to the 14th failed, the 3rd Infantry Division relieved the 36th Infantry Division in this sector. Private First Class Shirley was in one of the German bunkers built in 1915 on top of Hill 672 on Hohe Schwarze on December 17th. He wrote his name and address to one of the bunker walls while on watch. Mr. A. Hugel from Weequahirt, who was 14 years old when, oh my gosh, a mouse just ran across the kitchen. A mouse just ran across the kitchen floor.
Oh, and we missed him.
He wrote his name. Okay, so Mr. Hugel from Weequahirt, who was 14 years old when elements of the 36th Division liberated his town on December 5th, found the inscription and tried for 16 years to get in touch with a relative to request more information as well as a photo of Stanley. In 1996, he wrote a letter to Stanley, but unfortunately never got a reply from him. In November 2000, Stanley Shirley passed away without sending any reply to Mr. Hugel's information request. Now in September 2012, I was successful to contact one of his sons and obtain a photo and more information. The Presidential Unit Citation, the citation reads as follows. See, now that I know a little bit more, I can look up some more things. Because this man, whoever wrote this, this is where he got some of his help from. Dennis Toomey. Do you know who that is?
I know he is, but I didn't know him, but I know him.
Okay, Michael Higgins, son of Lieutenant Higgins, Andre Hugel of Weequahirt, and Wolfgang Krebs. Some photos were taken from the ECPAD.fr, which is the French Department of Defense. So, and this Texas Military Forces Museum, that's why there's a lot of information about it, because they have an actual museum with their 36th Infantry Division or whatever.
Jeff Danby went through all those many times.
Yeah. Well, now, I think what we should do tonight is we should call it quits for a little bit so that you can rest, because you have not had even a moment to doze.
Well, I'm going to go climb, take all my clothes off and climb into bed.
Okay, but you can watch TV or you don't have to do anything. We'll have to... Ruthie told me she picked up this little thing. She got a little piece of cardboard and she said, I think this looks like mouse poop. And now I can tell her.
That's what it was.
You can't miss a black little mouse walking across this white floor.
No.
Okay, let me put this on hold here.